The Death Angel. One of the most well-known aliens of the modern day. Despite being relatively new to the alien scene, they have made their way up to the popularity status alongside with other aliens, such as the Xenomorphs, Yautjas, and Tripods. These guys, despite their relatively small size, are one tough cookie. Being able to run upwards of 300 miles an hour, are able to flip ambulances just by sliding into them, and are durable enough to withstand atmospheric re-entry and their own planet exploding. So yeah, these guys are no pushover. Even with all the world's militaries trying to take them out, they just kept going. In the Quiet Place universe, the Death Angels pretty easily took over and crowned themselves as the apex predator of the world, taking over every part of the Earth's surface, minus the oceans of course. But what if they went further than just the surface? A place that can provide worthy competition. A place where the Earth's final defense will fight them off. The Hollow Earth and its kaiju that lie within. Today, we seek to find the answer. Could the Death Angels survive the Hollow Earth? Hello everyone, it's your host Godzilla Guy, and today we are once again covering the Death Angels, one of my favorite fictional creatures ever. Now, there are a few things we need to go over. Firstly, we're assuming these suckers land in Alaska, as we need to cover one of two things. One, are they worthy enough to enter? Meaning, can they fight off the Gate Guardians? And two, can they themselves survive the Hollow Earth portals? As the Hollow Earth gateways are very powerful, to make sure that not just anything can go through. Another thing I want to add on, while the Death Angels are strong, they aren't kaiju levels by themselves. So we'll be assuming a pack of them land in Alaska, with a total number of 30 Death Angels. And rather than having a bracket like normal, these guys are just exploring and attacking anything that makes noise. So they'll just explore and fight whatever they come face to face with. But that being said, before we start, if you like anything kaiju, dinosaurs, sci-fi, or anime, then this is the place for you. And if you end up liking this video, make sure to check out the channel and consider subscribing. So with all that out of the way, let's dive in and answer. Can the Death Angel survive the Hollow Earth? As you said, these guys firstly land in the snowy terrain of Alaska. Now here's normally when I cover the stats of the Death Angel, but I've already pretty much explained everything they have in the Death Angel vs. Godzillasaurus video. So if you want a more in-depth layout of their feats, make sure to go watch that video. But as a quick summary, they can push around 9 to 12 tons with ease, run upwards of 300 miles an hour, have very sharp claws, and are insanely durable. And before anybody brings up the sound weakness, no, a kaiju can't just roar at them and kill them. Their sound weakness comes from a frequency, not the volume. So any kaiju can roar at them, but it won't do anything. Anyways, as we said, these guys firstly land in the snowy terrain of Alaska. There isn't much to do for them, just kind of wander around until they start to hear a low buzzing noise. The Death Angels, doing what they do best, start running full speed at the odd sound. After running for a couple minutes, they arrive at the portal. Close up, it's much louder. But before they can actually attempt to go through, they hear the ground deep below them break and move around. Out of the ground comes the Frostvark, an intimidating small class kaiju, having sharp claws, armored plated skin, and sharp teeth. The Frostvark, using his thermal location, can sense the heat coming off these guys, as they did just go through re-entry, being superheated in the process. And look, I love the Frostvark, Edward Nation on top, but he's getting ripped to shreds. His freezing inhale may be able to kill one, and I know, some of you are already typing away, while the Death Angels survived in space, and yes, they did, but that's not how the Frostvark works. He's not making them cold, rather, he's removing their heat, which, kind of the same, but not really. The Death Angels could still very much have heat inside their bodies, thanks to their thick skin keeping it inside. But the Frostvark just eats up heat. So overall, he'd kill a single one before going at himself, reducing the overall amount of Death Angels now to 29. With 29 still standing, they make their way to the portal. All of them infuriated at how much noise it's making. They all jump in hopes to kill it, but now they've entered the portal. Now you could argue since they're not worthy, they would go to Axis Mundi and not the Hollow Earth, but we need a fun video. Now the portal itself is a test for the Death Angel, being a planet's worth of gravity in a split second, and even described as a dimensional membrane. Now, the Death Angels did tank their own planet exploding, but this is a whole nother level. Despite it only being a few seconds, some Death Angels can't withstand the force. By the time they get all the way through, another 3 Death Angels have died, being crushed to death. The rest that survive are injured, but not to an extreme extent. Being in the noisy Hollow Earth, the Death Angels would quickly recover and start killing. They would swiftly eliminate smaller creatures. Things like leafwings, skyr buffalo, giraffes, and the tree mimics would go down quickly, becoming food for the Death Angels. Now, that's not to say themselves that they wouldn't get preyed on. Large creatures such as dogs or apes would eat them if they get the chance. Yes, the apes. They're not that weak, chill out. So by the end of the day, while the Death Angels did clear through a large portion of smaller wildlife, they themselves did lose a large number, being reduced all the way down to 20. Reason being a mixture of the terrain, some falling into random pits and never seen the light of day again, and some just being outdone in physical strength and being eaten by other organisms. Now if these guys were smarter, they could very well survive the Hollow Earth, in the sense that they themselves would just inhabit it, as the large kaiju would keep their population in check, and the smaller kaiju would be food for them. But the issue is, these guys attack whatever they hear, and haven't shown any signs of fear, so they wouldn't back down no matter what kaiju it is. After some time, they would learn to attack sky creatures too, such as verticines or hellhawks, waiting for them to land or get close enough to the ground for them to jump up and grab them. And speaking of jumping, the Death Angels will be crazy fast in the Hollow Earth. For context, the reason they're already fast is because their planet had much harsher gravity, so Earth in comparison is much easier to move around. Now being in the Hollow Earth where gravity is all sorts of messed up, these guys will be able to jump freakishly high into the air. I kid you not, in some areas most likely over 100 meters up. Now creatures such as drowned vipers or the giant river leech wouldn't need to worry about a thing, as the Death Angels avoid the water. But to prove themselves, the Death Angels, being the cocky guys they are, will try to take down 3 full-on kaiju, those being the Wartdog, Spine Prowler, and Warbat. Their first target is the Wartdog, coming in around 250 feet long and around 90 to 100 feet tall. This will be no easy battle. Now you think the Wartdog's height would crush them, but given they took the Hollow Earth portal, the Wartdog doesn't have enough weight or strength feats that would be enough of a threat to crush a Death Angel. All it would do is just get them temporarily stuck under its foot. Now the Death Angel's claws would rip through the Wartdog's skin, over time having the Wartdog bleed, and given their smaller size, they would climb around on him, eventually cutting open his stomach or severing the skin that connects his leg to his hip. And, well, the Wartdog's bite wouldn't do much to them either, as if one of them gets into his mouth, they'll just cut him up from the inside. Now, don't get me wrong, if it was a big pack of Wartdogs, they would absolutely win. But given it's just one, the Death Angels, while battered up, would win. Now, let's assume none died. They'll need the numbers, and they move on with still 20. Next up is the Spine Prowler. Now, the Spine Prowler is a big jump from the Wartdog, as the Spine Prowler is larger and much stronger, being able to stand its own ground against Kong, and was able to topple over the Titan Hunter. And given it was able to damage both of the kaiju just mentioned, it would have no issue killing the Death Angel, as it now has the strength required. Now the issue is that she might not be agile enough to take them all out at once. Though, while she would take some damage, I do believe they stop here. Her strength would kill them off one by one, and if any got on her back, she could just roll around and crush them to death in the process. Her bite should be strong enough to chomp them in half, and her tail would slap them literal miles away. Funniest thing is, that if they passed, they would honestly probably be able to take down a Warbat, as a Warbat's thin membrane wings could get cut through like butter. But overall, they stop at the Spine Prowler. Now, if they didn't attack everything that made noise, they would 100% survive the Hollow Earth, in the sense that they would just join the food chain. But overall, it looks like Earth's last defense force wins. What do you guys think? I know this was a shorter video, but people have been asking for it, and well, here it is. I mean, they're strong, but they're not that strong. The only way for them to actually get to the likes of Shimo would be if there were a few hundred. And this video was inspired and is pretty much a continuation of my buddy FDA's video of the Death Angels on Skull Island. If you want me to make a video like that and put my own take on it, let me know in the comments below. Because honestly, when it comes to the smaller wildlife of Skull Island, a single Death Angel versus the creatures of Skull Island is actually a pretty close battle. So let me know if you want me to make that as well. But back to the few hundred thing, that'd just be kind of too hard to manage. But if you like this video and like videos like this, well, I make videos like this. So be sure to check out the channel. I post stuff like this all the time, having almost daily shorts and weekly videos. And to those wondering, yes, I'll make more Death Angel stuff soon, as the Quiet Place game is right around the corner. And with that being said, I don't really promote this often, but I'm live a lot, and I'll stream the game once it's out. Heck, if you're watching this within the first 2 hours of this video being up, I'm probably live right now. So stop by and say hello. But again, thank you for watching. And as always, keep collecting. Godzilla Guy, out. See ya.